just have fun. All this doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how big your business is. If you can't have fun while you're doing it, it's not going to be fulfilling because it's not about getting from point A to point B. It's about who you become and the experiences you have during that in between.
And we are live. Tom Levecki here for the New Theory podcast in conjunction with New Jersey Digest. Show us the shirts. There we go. And we have a very special guest today. Somebody been trying to get on for a minute, but he keeps ignoring me. Vinnie Lisi of Espresso Mio. He's a kidney donor. Yes, a kidney donor. I had to bring it up. He actually said it's a requirement, don't bring it up because he's at home, but I'm going to bring it up. Number 2, a second generation Italian-American business owner. Vinnie Lisi, welcome to the Theory Podcast. How are you doing today? So, we're going to jump right in. So the first part is I want to talk about is you took over your father's business, which is now your business together. Bought Espresso Mio out of New Jersey. I got to be honest. Nowadays, 2025, you don't hear people taking over their parents' business. You don't hear them handing it down. And number 3, actually, you don't hear them being successful. You multiplied the business. You killed it. You continue to kill it. Tell us about why you decided to take your family business out of you.
I think it happened organically. We kind of stumbled upon it in the sense of I kind of jumped in just as a side gig.
Yeah.
I was in the union, and when I was laid off, I figured I'd do some work on the side for service.
Yeah.
And very quickly into it, realized there was a huge void in the service and support of super automatic.
Yeah.
So once that happened,
Which in layman's terms, really high-end fast coffee machines.
yeah, Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks, and automatic. So I'm very much an advocate for if you're going there, even though it's reactive, if you're there, which is the hardest part, give it your all so that you don't have to go back anytime. So that is when I started building relations with the owners and with the franchisees, and they the relationship that we built and why. So that's when the light bulb went off. Like, wow, there's a huge opportunity here. You don't have to do much. Like they were praising us, and I thought we were just doing what we were supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
But they made it seem like we were doing something, special. So that's when I decided to go full time with my dad, with the industry, and we always kept it. Let's stick with the service and support first, which is how we were raised. Let's really serve these people. Let's make their jobs as easy as possible.
Yeah.
And it's worked out since. Now,
So I'm going to ask you an important question. There we go. Exactly. I'm going to ask you an important question. You are, second generation business, and I got to be honest with you. I have 4 kids. I would love for them to take over working the agency, right? What advice do you have for parents? I'm a little older than you. What advice do you have for parents? I'm trying to start talking to their kids that are entrepreneurs. And maybe say, hey, I want you to take over the business. And what advice do you have for them? So you take over your father's business.
well, full disclosure, I don't see myself as it was just more of an opportunity. I'm very, it's just very easy to want to give and help people out. So it kind of happened when I was the advice I would say is don't ever push them, involve them as much as possible to the point where you're not forcing them, and really display the passion that you have for what you're doing, and they need to see that. And they can't just see it, they have to feel it as well, which is why you also have to involve them in operations as well. They should see you communicating with your customers. They should see the grind that you're going with, and really start from the bottom. Because from there, at least you're showing, if you're showing them the whole picture, they're going to know very early on if they're even interested. So it's a lot of intentional detail, but a little bit of luck as well, because even if you do all that, you also have to accept the fact that you still might not want to get into it. But all we can do is all we can do. So the bare minimum, just go through those processes.
What's the biggest learning? And we all have our parents and we love and adore. But what is something you learn about your father by working with him as opposed to being his son? It was like, oh, wait a second, I didn't know this about his.
That's a great question. I would say, I mean, the first word that comes to my mind is resilience. I mean, we knew very early on, very early on, he was a hard worker, but it's different when you're actually doing it. And then when I started doing it, I still realized that he was working even harder than I was because he was in the city with tighter spaces, more fugazi things going on with electric and plumbing. So he wasn't. We always say like work like a gentleman. He was not working like a gentleman. So not only was he working longer hours, it was dirtier, harder, and more intentional work where, the receptacles, electric and plumbing in itself, he had to do all. So just to see how he worked that hard for that long was really humbling to the which was a big part of what I'm doing now. Was like the first phase of the rebuild was I need to make sure he's okay. Like my parents, he's done so much for us. At the bare minimum, at least if he has that freedom to kind of come and go as he pleases, because he's never going to retire. But giving him freedom is kind of like retiring for us. So just to see him kind of be more relaxed, take the stress off in itself is.
So your brother Joe's in the business, and we'll give them the studio in the pocket. It's more of a quick hitter today, but my question to you there is, what's the dynamic of working with your brother? What part of it is business? What part of it is it's my brother? Do you get more or less slack?
So it's just one of those things where we don't want, like, you would think that family, it could be that kind of friction, but it's not. All three of us are extremely close, and we it's just about having fun. All this, it doesn't even matter if we're not having fun. So we're very sarcastic. We all have humility and all that ego. So if we mess up, we'll intentionally bust each other's chops, but with a good heart and good intentions. So it's not. That's in itself a huge blessing to work with my dad and my brother every day, and Laurel as well. He became like a brother as well. So the fact.
Laurel, say hello. Say hello real quick. I know you're not mic'd up. Let's go around. You need good people around you.
So we were talking about family, brothers, and Carl's like our adopted Lisi. Actually, there was a piece of mail that came one day that said Carl Lisi, and he was like, I made it. That was great. So, you could, ask them as well, but it's just about how we work together. I think we have fun. That's all we can say. We have a good time doing it. I don't think any of us really stresses. We don't want to have fun, but we also don't want to drink. That's the names.
So I want to, one question before I wrap up. So obviously you're not a blood family member, but you become family. How has that dynamic kind of helped you and shaped you? So let's say you're working at a family business, but you're not, let's say, like blood, but like, how did you kind of come to transition to become close with them over the years?
Yeah, integrity. That's a big word that's going to come out regardless. True intentions. It's just no. It's. That's a big. We're going to cut this part.
No, it's all good. Manny, we're keeping it. It's an impromptu. Thank you. I'll give you the final words. We're going to get them in the studio. We're going to get Vinnie in the studio. Hopefully, Joe, maybe Carl even. And Carlo. We need Carlo. But the point being is, get them in the studio. We'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
Any final words?
Just have fun. All this doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how big your business is. If you can't have fun while you're doing it, it's not going to be fulfilling, because it's not about getting from point A to point B. It's about who you become and the experiences you have during that in between. So I would say that's it.
Well, thanks for coming on, brother. Thank you.
Appreciate it.